Robots Radio. Games, lore, stories, community. Just press play. Welcome to the Fallout Lorecast, the podcast that explores the boundaries of our knowledge about the world of Fallout. It's that time again, friends, Wastelanders, Fall Dwellers. We are here with you to help you through another day, another evening maybe, or morning, or middle of the day, or middle of the night, any part of the day at all, because we are a podcast that you can turn on whenever you want. We are the Fallout Lorecast. This is the weirdest intro I've ever done. My name is Robots, or Tom, and I'm here with my co-host Lainey. Welcome, Lainey. How's it going?
Hello. It's going good.
Nice.
Yeah.
We've got all sorts of fun stuff coming for Fallout 76. This week is like double score week? Is it a double XP maybe also? I don't remember. It's going to be cool. I recommend you play it. You get some stuff unlocked. It's going to be awesome. I've been chatting with some of the community. They're going to be down for that as well. I'm going to try and stream some of that coming up. How are you? How's your stuff going?
My stuff's going good. I just dived into Apex Legends, which I hadn't played before. It's very exciting. I've been playing with some people who actually listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to get on that, we made a team. It's called Tato Aimers.
Oh, Tato Aimers.
We are the Tatos. So if you want to be a Tato like us, you can join in.
Then you can join. That's awesome. I love the Legends of Apex. That's such a fun game. That's such a fun video game. I'm going to speak like somebody who doesn't know video game lingo. That is a fun game to play with your friends on the internet. All right. Well, we are here with the Fallout Lorecast to not talk about games you play on the internet, or maybe talk about games you play on the internet, but specifically Fallout games that you play maybe on the internet. And it's a weird day. For some reason, I'm feeling weird.
It's because you did a game show earlier. You're still in game show host mode.
I'm still in game show host mode. I'm still there. Or maybe BuddyBot, like, I don't know, spiked my drink.
No, I wouldn't do that.
BuddyBot. Whoa. All right. Well, here, let's get into our topic for today. All right. So today we are shifting gears. We've been talking about cryptids for a while. We are now going to start talking about locations, settlements, cities, things like that. And Lainey and I were brainstorming some ideas earlier, and I tossed out the idea of good old Megaton, the first settlement you come across.
Megaton.
Yeah, when you leave Vault 101 in Fallout 3, it's one of the first places you go. It's an extremely iconic settlement for a number of reasons. Lainey's done some homework digging this up. This is a thing that we're both very familiar with from playing Fallout 3.
I love Megaton.
Megaton's awesome. Lainey, let's just dig into this. How are we starting this out? Are we talking about the background and things first? Is that what the plan is?
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about the background first, and then we'll hit on what the actual in-game experience is later on.
Awesome.
But we got to set the stage first.
Set the stage.
For anyone who doesn't know about Megaton, we got to get them invested, you know?
Yeah, you tell me what props to get, and I'll put them on the stage. Go.
All of them. Go.
Got it. Working on it.
Good.
I'm doing it.
So I want to start out just with some context from a player perspective. Before we get into all the nitty-gritty details, I want to talk about how other people see Megaton. That way, like, you know what lens we're looking at this from, what the feels are about it, you know?
Yeah. All the feels, by the way. All the feels.
Mm-hmm. Oh, certainly. It will hit every single one. But generally...
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed. People do consider it to be one of the better settlements of the games, especially for the earlier games, you know, pre-Fallout 4, where there are just settlements all over the place that you can build on and all those things. Mm-hmm. Megaton really stood out.
Well, the capital wastes
that you encounter it
feel way more waste-y.
Right.
They feel more bleak.
They really do.
It's much more bleak, yeah.
So yeah, it's considered to be one of the better settlements. Occasionally to the extent of being considered an ideal post-apocalyptic community to be a part of, because of the way that the settlers interact together, they trust each other, they lean on each other for help. It is a true community, and they really stand by one another, even the more eclectic ones of the group.
Yeah, you know what's interesting to me about that is from the perspective that you start the game in, with this idea that you grow up in the vault, you're not to trust anything outside the vault. Mm-hmm. Outside the vault is only raiders, it's only terrible people, the world sucks. And then you come across Megaton, and of course it's not perfect, but there are a lot of good individuals. There are people who are trustworthy. There are, and it's interesting that stark dynamic happens almost immediately if you do make it to Megaton.
Yeah, for sure. It's incredibly noticeable right off the bat. I will say, though, the environment itself, and this kind of just has to do with the way that Fallout 3 is, it looks incredibly scrappy and dull. And part of that has to do with the color palette of Fallout 3. It is very dull. But also, the settlement itself is quite literally completely composed of scrap. So It really just looks kind of like a trash heap when you first stumble upon it and you don't know what you're looking for.
You know, I remember the first time I saw it and saw the walls of just the sheet metal, like the stacks of sheet metal. I didn't even realize there was a door there, or...
Oh, yeah.
or like that was like this was a wall to a settlement or a city. I didn't understand what I was looking at all until I got close enough to realize that there was a prompt that you opened a door. And then I walked in and I was like, oh, OK.
There's something in here.
There's something in here. I had no idea what it even was.
Yeah, so it's a well-loved area. And it's one of the first places you encounter in Fallout 3 if you go about Fallout 3 as one would expect you would. People purposely avoid it or just don't stumble upon it at all. That is the case with open world games like this. You can totally miss it.
Sure.
But it is incredibly likely that upon exiting Vault 101, you will encounter Megaton. Or at least see it. It's pretty close.
Right.
So some context about what the environment is like there. It actually sits inside of a crater caused by a bomber that crashed and left an undetonated atomic bomb, which is now the center of the community. We'll get more detail on that in a bit. But this area, it is really just a crater. It had some debris from the crash, and that was about it. But it happens to be near Vault 101, where some survivors attempted to get into in order to survive, and were declined, of course. And so, with nowhere else to go, they found this crater. They decided that they could live in the crater to deal with the weather. There were dust storms. You know, it gave them a little bit of security, a little bit of safety away from the winds. And so they set up camp. Some of them decided to stay for a longer period of time, whereas others went out into the wasteland to scavenge, but they ended up coming back. And upon coming back, they would trade their goods there. That's how the beginning of Megaton as a community started blooming and growing.
Yeah, like it became a natural trading post. Kind of a location that people were aware of and knew was safe.
Right.
And somewhere that they could come back and find shelter if they needed it, or trade their items for other items that they would need. And it's a fairly central location for some other areas that you may want to actually visit on the map.
Yeah, it's really convenient. So it's nice. And it meant that it grew rather quickly because of all the different kinds of things coming in, the kinds of people coming in. It had everything it needed to become a real community and not just some settlers kind of making do inside a crater. Of course, being inside a crater, you know, when you have a fight, you want to have the higher ground, and you never really do have the higher ground if you are inside a crater.
If you are in a crater, that is the exact opposite of the higher ground. Yeah. Right.
And so they would get picked on by raiders, of course, which is what raiders do. And they needed a way to solve for that. And so it took a while. But in 2241, they decided to finally fortify the community and build the iconic giant walls that surround Megaton. This actually started off... if there's a character you meet in the game. Her name is Mania Vargas. And she's a sweet old lady in the game, but she's actually the granddaughter of the man who decided to incentivize everyone to build these walls, which is really cool.
Can you imagine?
You can ask her about him.
Can you imagine that conversation? Hey guys, we have a problem with raiders. Yeah, man, raiders suck. Yeah, they keep stealing our stuff. Yeah, they keep stealing our stuff. So I got an idea here. How about we build some walls? What? Walls? Yeah, let's build some walls. I don't know about that.
So a big problem they encountered with these walls, right, that made it probably why they didn't do it as soon as they could have, was just that in order to build them, they would need supplies, and they didn't really have any. The beginning of the wall started out with the scrap that was left over from the crash, and as did, creating houses and things like that. The whole city is made out of scrap. But there was actually an aircraft base nearby that had a whole bunch of debris in it. And so the walls are made up of debris from the aircraft base, which is really cool. And once you learn that, it becomes very apparent. You can look around, you can see the numbers on things, the way that all the metal looks.
Yeah, the paneling that would be on the sides of aircraft and hangars, things like that.
Right, yeah. So it's really cool, and you can, the whole town is like that. You can spot it everywhere. From the homes to the water treatment plants to everything is made out of this debris, which is incredible, but it took them a very long time to build it. So at this point, by the time they were already beginning to build the wall, they already had quite the community going. There were people already living there. They had some culture happening at that point, which is good. In order to have culture happen in a community like this, it has to be relatively safe and sustainable, which means that at this point they're already succeeding, other than the raider issue, which they're trying to fix.
Sure. Which is, it's just always going to be a problem. This Fallout. This is just how it's going to be. Yeah.
So people were coming not only to trade, but starting to really want to stay there. Beyond the people who stayed there in the first place and were having children there, right? This is across the course of a generation. Yeah. Until
immigrants.
The wall started popping up, which itself took time. But by this point, we had things like the Children of Adam, which actually
it's culture at its highest.
Here.
That is right. the highest form of culture is the Children of Adam.
Oh, yeah. So the Children of Adam, they actually started here in Megaton, where they started worshipping the atomic bomb that had been left in the center of town, making it so that the bomb ended up inside of the walls with everyone else, which sounds incredibly dangerous because it was still active. It was still live. It could still go off, which is scary. But people didn't remove it because they needed the manpower of the people who were part of the church to help them maintain this town, build the town. Yeah. And so they couldn't move it because they didn't want to upset everyone. Yeah. So the bomb stayed.
Yeah, when your community is only that large and you need everybody to do what they do in the community in order for the community to survive, you can't just ostracize even 10, 20% of your community, because that's a number of significant people who, when they aren't worshiping a bomb in the middle of the city, are contributing to things like food or supplies or just labor to the needs of the rest of the community. So yeah, it's a dilemma, and I think when we talk moral things on this show a lot, but it's there are moral issues with, at what point are things too far? Are the strange beliefs of other people in our community dangerous to the community, and you need to put your foot down? Right? Is it legality? Is it, what if everyone starts worshiping the bomb and the bomb explodes? Well, guess what? You just destroyed everybody because of some crazy belief that people had. How do you manage that? Is it safe for the community to not to do that? It's an interesting dilemma, for sure.
For sure. And at this point, they decided that it was okay for it to stay because of the necessary people involved, right? They couldn't lose those people. So for now, the bomb stays. And, well, for hopefully forever, the bomb stays, but we'll get there. The same year the wall was built, in 2241, Moriarty's Saloon, the saloon that you can find and visit in the game, was founded. But in the raider attack that really changed the tides and made people decide to build the wall, Colin Moriarty, who was 14 in the game, his father, or 14 at the time, his father died in the raider attack. Colin Moriarty, you'll meet in the actual game itself. He's the owner of the current day Moriarty's saloon.
Right. Yeah. And
which is cool.
He's a significant character in a number of story arcs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this kind of worked out well, though, that he got to maintain it. It didn't get lost to everything. It was very tragic that his father died, but he was incredibly wealthy due to his successes from trading from the very beginning of the community. So he already had a bunch of money. He was able to build the saloon. So that all got passed along and carried on until the actual game happens. And also in 2241, the front gate was completed. So they did finish the whole wall. And by that point, it was totally secure, which meant that they could keep the people that they wanted in, and they could keep people out if they didn't want to. And it's at this point that they started being a little bit more careful about who they let in. Because before then, and even when you get there, it's generally a pretty welcoming community, but you do have to, by the point that the wanderer comes in, you have to kind of prove yourself to them.
Right. Because
at that point, they've closed themselves off. They know who to trust, and they really rely on each other. So they don't need people from the outside coming in as much as they used to. So at this point, with this wall here, they started building alliances outside of Megaton. And one of the most interesting of these, and in fact the only one that really matters, is with Vault 101, which is really interesting because you would think that the Vault wouldn't be really interacting with people outside of it. But there's a woman named Agnes Taylor who was put on missions by the Overseer to investigate nearby settlements and areas and actually to infiltrate them. But she ended up becoming an ambassador for Megaton and maintaining communication between them, and they would share intel about things happening in the wasteland nearby so that they could both stay safe and stay alert as to what was happening.
Right.
Which is really handy.
Yeah. Or at least it was for the Overseer.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, Vault 101 is another complex situation, but you do come to find out that the Overseer has been out of the vault and that there is communication happening. And
lots of people have, right? So Vault 101 isn't as secure as it seems it is. People have joined after it was formed. Mm-hmm. People have left. Agnes Taylor, actually, you encounter her. When you're first escaping Vault 101, you find her in the cafeteria dead. And she's known in the game as Grandma Taylor. Yeah. And it's funny. So her son, I believe, before she dies, he's like, I'm scared for her. Like, her heart can't handle all this stuff. But unbeknownst to him, she's actually been exploring the wasteland all this time.
Right. She's not just the fragile old lady that he envisions.
Yeah. Which is funny. But yeah, so she became an ambassador for Megaton, which is really cool, honestly. And I think that carried out throughout her family where, like, they kind of kept fulfilling that role. By the time... Oh, I guess we can cut it here. Let's talk about the current things and tie some of these pieces together after the middle.
Okay, so this is a good stopping point, you think?
Yeah.
Awesome. So before we get to the current stuff, I just want to, before we transition over, I just want to pitch the question, because this is something that I used to do a lot and I hadn't been doing it as much. But would you feel safe in a city built around a bomb like this? Safe enough, and I guess I should explain this a little further, safe enough to take up residence there. In a wasteland where things are scarce, communities to be a part of are scarce. If you're some wanderer, you come across, they're, welcoming enough at some point of the evolution of this city. Would you take up residence here? What do you think?
Personally?
Yeah, personally.
I think maybe, given the kind of community that they had, it could be worth it. But it's definitely scary. It's definitely something you would have to think about. If it wasn't the community that they had, and it was actually, there's more turmoil happening, it was more dangerous. Mm-hmm. If it was more likely that something might go wrong and trigger the bomb somehow, if there was a lot of infighting, then no. It seems safer to figure out somewhere else to stay. That's my opinion.
Yeah, it seems so. I have a few thoughts on this, and I would love to hear anybody in chat. You guys are responding in chat. If you're listening somewhere else, if you want to respond in the Robots Radio Discord, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I have a few thoughts. First, there's always the risk of it going off or not going off, right? There's also the risk of somebody triggering it. So there's that risk. Like my first thought is, well, what if it accidentally goes off? My second thought is, what if it intentionally goes off? My third thought is, even if it never goes off, then there is still this level of insecurity and fear that permeates the community simply due to its existence. And that will hobble certain aspects of the people and the personalities and the development of that community forever. That's one of those very hard to quantify things. It's like not addressing mental illness in a community with any actual means of dealing with it. What that does is it means that everybody knows someone or is someone who is suffering some significant form of mental illness, and that makes life harder for everybody. It's that kind of thing. When you can't address this, it keeps people from living their best selves. Now, of course, we're talking about the wasteland and the terrible things that are happening in the wasteland, the constant threat of raiders, the lack of food, the lack of clean water. There's lots of fears and threats that are constantly happening. But what if you turn that around and you go, well, this is just one more of those things that you don't necessarily need to have? Would it be better to be without it if you can? Or is it just the best of what you're just going to take what you can get? And it's better to be with a community that accepts you than not. And you're just going to deal with another threat because, heck, it's just the way the world is. It's an interesting dilemma. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. All right, let's go to the middle of the show.
Hello there, old chap. Good to see another of General Atomic's finest, still eager to serve.
It's time for that spring reset. I'm taking a look at everything in my closet and figuring out that, oh no, this absolutely needs to go. And it's about time I replace things so that my clothes aren't older than my 15-year-old. Now you might think that they lasted that long because they were well made, but no, they're in terrible condition. Unlike the new jeans I just got from Quince. Jeans have always been my personal go-to because you can kind of wear them for lots of different things, but maybe they're not your thing. Maybe you're looking for, 100% European linen with insanely soft flow knit activewear fabric. It's definitely getting warmer, and their flow knit activewear is moisture wicking, anti-odor, and soft enough that you'll actually want to wear it every day. So pick out what you want. You can't go wrong because they have prices 50 to 60% less than similar brands. And like I said before, they are high quality. I continue to wear their clothes all the time, and I know that these new jeans are going to last me a lot better than the other things in my wardrobe. And on top of it, they look great. They're so comfortable. And I spent just as much on the jeans that I am now cleaning out of my wardrobe. So if you're looking for something better, just all around better, go check out Quince. So go do it right now. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/falloutlore for free shipping and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. Go to quince.com/falloutlore for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/falloutlore. All right, so this is the part of the show where we thank all of our patrons for helping to support the show every week. Lainey and I are very, very appreciative. You help us keep doing this. You make us feel like we're doing something that you guys love, and that is awesome. As a content creator, that's what you want, is you want people to like what you're doing and enjoy your work, and we really, really do appreciate it. In just a few weeks, we will be having our end of the month patron episode before Thanksgiving. That'll be on a Monday, like usual. So if you'd like to jump onto the Patreon, if you're not already a tier 4 subscriber and you'd like to join us, then the opportunity is there. If you want to subscribe at any level, you're always going to get ad-free episodes. We've got a new subscriber on the Twitch right now as we're talking.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kabuchi. You're going to get ad-free episodes. You're going to get episodes early. You're going to get a bunch of other stuff on the list, special Discord channels. And I've added a new thing because most of the time when we do this show, we end up chatting after the episode for a while with the Twitch community in chat. Those conversations are awesome because we get to talk to you guys. It ends up being super funny and goofy. And so that section of the show will now be tacked on to all the upcoming episodes, this episode included, on the Patreon. So if you want to get a little bit more conversation around the topics each week, the things that we talk about with chat, or even questions about podcasting and content creation and those kinds of things, if you're curious about that stuff, that all happens after the show. So if you are a Patreon listener right now, then make sure you don't turn off the podcast when it gets to the end credits. Go all the way to the end. There's probably an extra 15-20 minutes of stuff. So check that out. That's available to all of you guys as just another way that we can say thank you for supporting the show. All right, let's move on to the rest of the episode.
If you have any questions about Nuka World, I'd be delighted to answer them.
So, Lainey, we're now transitioning into the state of Megaton in the quote-unquote present. What does that mean?
Yes.
What does that mean? So
in 2277, is that the best way to say that? 2277?
Yeah, 2277, sure. 2,277. How about that?
It's really wordy.
Yeah, that's really weird. 2277, sure. Totally.
All right, so 2277, that's when you get to encounter Megaton yourself. You get to leave the vault. You see it in the distance. It's this big metal thing.
It's just a big metal thing. Yeah.
You see a command in front of a door. It tells you to open it. You enter and voila. There's a whole world in there.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least that was your experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my experience was immediately Lucas Sims. Mr. Sheriff Sims walks right up and is like, what are you doing here? Who are you? You know, like that was my first experience initially, just right into it. And Lainey is reconnecting because she had, I guess, an internet issue. But I remember feeling a little bit like, am I supposed to be here? Am I not supposed to be here? Why does this guy not trust me? I'm a vault dweller. I'm a super nice person. I'm a good guy, right? That's how I felt.
You hope.
I mean, that's how I felt jumping into Fallout 3. It was my first Fallout, and I was like, I'm a good guy. I grew up in the vault. I'm be nice to people. Yeah, that was my plan initially.
Yeah. No, that's the same for me. But I think it's totally normal though for them to be cautious. Mm-hmm. It's a scary world out there. So you enter Megaton and they have a thriving community. It's actually overpopulated. They have too many settlers now. They've turned a local meeting hall into a group homing situation where lots of people kind of just sleep in beds in rows because they have to, which I guess is better than living out on your own in the wasteland. Yeah,
this is why ancient cities have multiple sections of walls. If you've ever wondered about that, why there's like an inner city wall, and then there's an outer city wall, and there's another wall past that. It's because the cities would constantly outgrow the size of the city. They'd make a city center, and that was the size of the city. They'd build a wall around it. And then in very short order, they'd have too many people to fit in that area. And they'd start building, settlements, like buildings and homes and things outside the city walls. And of course, those were less protected. Once it got to a certain size, they extend the walls out. So yeah, they haven't extended the walls. They've just crammed more people in.
Yeah, they really have crammed more people in, which they don't really have a choice. They can't really extend the walls.
Yeah, I mean, they've
used what they have.
They could if they were able to get more supplies to do so. But
there's not really anything close enough to cover it back.
Right.
It's a little tough.
You could build walls out of sand. Maybe not.
That's an interesting point. I mean, difficult.
Difficult, yes.
To make it work, it would be a little hard. But yeah, so they have a thriving community, possibly two thriving. They have Lucas Sims, who you've mentioned. He's the sheriff. He's also the mayor.
Mm-hmm. Can we call him the Mariff?
The Mariff?
Yeah.
We can call him whatever you want. The Mariff works.
Or Sharer. Sharer doesn't work as well than Mariff.
The Mariff it is.
Yeah.
So there's the Mariff Lucas Sims, who actually won the position by a unanimous popular vote across the settlers of Megaton. Everybody decided that he was the one for the job, which honestly, I think, it's a good choice. He takes his job very seriously.
Yeah, he's a good Mariff. I mean, he does his job. He does his work. In the wasteland, anybody who's willing to just do the work, they got my vote. Yeah. Yeah.
That's for sure. And they all knew that. So he fulfills his duty quite well. You also get, which I've discussed before, the Church of the Children of Adam. At this point, the Children of Adam aren't really a threat at all, beyond the fact that they're a little kooky. And that they worship the bomb.
So you have local politician, you have local security, sheriff, protection, police protection, and then you also have you go to church on Sunday or whatever day of the week. I guess they worship like every day, don't they?
Yeah. They pray in a circle around the bomb. Yeah. And they also have the church itself, which you can go into and pray with pews and all that.
That's true. Thank you, Fire Rider, for your raid party of 15. That is amazing. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you so much, Fire Rider.
We are in the middle of the Fallout Lorecast show. Stay a little while. We're going to be talking about Megaton. So one of the things I remember specifically about the church is them standing or kneeling in the water around the bomb at the bottom of the crater and thinking to myself, if that thing's leaking radiation into that water, like not just a radiation in the air around it, but in the water, that water, it would be super radiated. And those guys are not safe. Your feet are going to fall off. What are you doing? Yeah, I remember thinking that was just like,
it's pretty bad.
Those guys are nuts.
But yeah, so not only is like, there's a crater, there's the bomb in the middle, but the bomb is in like this little mini crater full of irradiated water. Yeah. And these people just sit there and pray every day.
Sitting in it.
Taking a little soak.
No good.
It's a spicy bath.
It's a spicy bathtub.
You want to like really exfoliate, get in all the pores.
You think they baptize people in the water, in the irradiated water?
I wouldn't be surprised.
They go down as a human, they come back up as a ghoul. That was a little joke. Your eyes, you're like, oh god.
So you get the church, you get the sheriff, the mayorif. You got a mayorif, if you will. Mm-hmm. You got the church. You got some shops going on.
Yeah, places.
You got a little community.
Yeah.
The most
like a mall.
Interesting shop, in my opinion, and I think others would agree, is Craterside Supply, run by the incredibly quirky Moira Brown.
She's the best.
An absolute icon. She's incredible. Yeah. She dreams of writing the Wasteland Survival Guide, which you may already be familiar with because it is present in other games. She writes it, and actually, you help her write it.
You do.
This is a group effort.
Yep. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. Yeah.
Which is really cool. So you have a whole community here, and it's not just a little trading hub anymore. You can get all your needs met. They have a freshwater facility that purifies the water. They have everything you need in order to live a good and happy life, and conveniently they all get along, even though there's some weirdos in there.
Yeah
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I love how Moira is like, she seems like a super weirdo, but she's probably like the coolest person in town.
She's definitely the coolest, definitely the most interested in like actually figuring out how to live in the wasteland, which seems nuts because she sends you on the craziest quests, which I'll name a few in a second. Like, she really just sends you out there, and while you're doing it, you're like, she's insane. Why would you want to do these?
Let's go into it. List them out.
So
go for it.
She sends you on a multi-part quest. It forces you to explore the wasteland for better and worse, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Mm-hmm. And here's just a couple of the examples of things that she will send you to do. Find food at the Super Duper Mart. You want to go on a little grocery trip?
Solid. All right.
Pretty simple. Mm-hmm. That's the first one. It escalates. Mm-hmm. The second one is contract radiation sickness.
Yeah, not a good idea.
Not a good idea, but she will cure you, so it's okay. But you also will probably mutate from that quest.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just go
to church. You can just go to church and knock that quest out.
Oh yeah, just sit in the water a little bit.
Sit in the water. Just pray for a little while. Yeah.
Just become religious for a little while. You'll hit it.
I'm not going to listen to this podcast anymore. They make fun of religion. They treat religion like it's a disease you get from radiation. I'm going to get a review like that because of us saying this. I get some really, really dumb reviews, and I will get one where somebody's going to say, "Hey, this podcast is too anti-religious," and I'm just going to be like, "We're talking about the Church of Adam. Come on."
Yeah, we're talking about the worship of bomb.
They're worshiping a bomb. Yeah. Anyway, man. Go on.
The next one is to traverse a minefield, which is just
Not recommended.
lovely.
Not recommended.
Not recommended. You might lose a couple limbs there, but she'll ask you to do it, and then she'll ask you to tell her all about your experience, which is what she wants. She wants the nitty gritty. She wants every detail.
Mhm.
Then she does something really special. She has created herself her homemade mole rat repellent,
Yeah.
which she wants you to test out.
Mhm.
She wants you to go out there with her mole rat repellent and just let the mole rats come or not.
Come on,
And
Roman.
you find out,
Yeah.
which is that's a joy. So those are some of like the crazier like little quests you get to go on. Some of them are fun though. You get to explore different areas, different locations across DC.
Mhm.
One of them is to go to like a really incredible library.
Yeah.
There's other ones, so it's fun. You get to really kind of explore the area. It's a really good quest line to follow. If you stumble upon it early in the game, which you probably will, it will make you familiar with the kinds of things you're fighting against, what the area looks like, where things are. It'll put some locations on your map. It's really nice.
Yeah, I wish, in retrospect, you can tell why the designers would have included this in Megaton. Because the thought would be, okay, this is the most likely first settlement you'll come across. This is somebody you'll meet in the town, and they're going to send you on these quests. These quests are going to give you a smattering of different kinds of things and different places to go. So it's definitely part of the, it's not really a tutorial, but it's an early kind of quest assortment in order to get you acclimated with where you are and what's going on. I, on the other hand, was trying to save my dad, trying to find my dad, trying to figure out what was going on. And I was like, yeah, Myra, I'll come back and deal with that. Why am I a 70-year-old lady from New York all of a sudden? yeah, Myra, whatever. I'll come back and do that later. Gotta find my father first, Myra. But yeah, no, that's what I was like. These sound crazy. I've got other stuff to do later. And then I came back and played them later, and I was like, oh, these were cool. Why didn't I do this earlier?
Yeah. I did a good half of them right at the beginning, and then I also avoided the main quest line for like 3 years. So, a different experience.
Yeah, different experience. Courier says in chat, my dad, Liam Neeson. Yeah, he's either running away from his kids or he's losing his kids. Like, there's always something going on with him and his children.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. All right. Well,
oh, yes.
What else do we have to cover here about, like, current day Megaton?
So, I think the most exciting and interesting part of everything you can do in Megaton is, well, it involves the bomb. If you're a good person, when Marif Lucas Sims comes to you and asks you to please disarm the bomb, but do it secretly and don't tell anyone because we don't want to upset the church. But we just want to make sure everyone is safe, which is a very appropriate ask, given that you have the ridiculous skill level at the beginning of the game to actually complete it. Then, maybe you can. It's one of those things that, like, you have to come back and do later. You cannot do it at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I couldn't do it at the beginning of the game, for sure.
But it's a nice little ask, and it's very reasonable, and it answers the question of, like, we have this bomb in our city. What do we do? And he wants you to disarm it, which is, really cool. But there's another choice. There's 3 choices. You could disarm it, you could do nothing, or you could go take a drink at Moriarty's saloon, and you could see a mysterious man sitting in the corner, and he beckons you to come closer, and he says, I'm Mr. Burke, and I want you to blow up Megaton. And he'll tell you that his employer, good old Alistair Tenpenny, just considers Megaton to be a blight on the landscape. This man, he wants his aesthetics to be beautiful. He runs the Tenpenny Tower.
Yeah.
He sits on his balcony with his sniper rifle and just gazes at the gorgeous desert every day.
Yep. And this is a blight on that beautiful desert.
Yep.
Yes.
How dare these people live happily and freely? We must destroy them.
Right.
And you can say, alrighty, sir. And you can rig that bomb, and you could go meet Mr. Alistair Tenpenny yourself at the top of his Tenpenny Tower, which is another Fallout 3 settlement. You can go there. There are people living there.
Yeah, we definitely have to cover that one in the future too, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But you can go up to the top, and you'll sit there and you can watch the town explode together. Very nice.
Yeah, I would
But
totally
if you
do
do
that quest. I would do that one. Did you guys do that one?
Buddy Bot
man.
thinks that that's the quest that he would do.
Buddy Bot has some interesting choices.
Yeah, Buddy Bot has some interesting choices.
It is a choice.
Okay, you want to hear my? I have a feeling you didn't blow up Megaton, at least at first.
So there's actually some more details about how this quest can play out. Let me cover them.
Okay.
And there's some
And then we can talk about
nuances
it.
even within these options.
Sure.
Right. So yeah, so you can blow it up. All right, so you can disarm it. You can do nothing. You can blow it up. When you blow it up, you can choose whether you want to actually click the detonator yourself or not. Mister Brick will offer it to you. Here's the price you have to pay. Right? So if you disarm it, life is good. They love you. Hello.
There's an Oliver back there saying hi.
If you disarm it, life is good. They love you. Everything is lovely. If you don't do anything, they still like you. It's okay. If you blow it up, bye-bye Megaton. But also, if you press the detonator yourself, you immediately lower your karma by 1,000 points.
That's great.
You are
That's
instantly
so
evil.
much.
It doesn't matter what other choices you've made. It's over for you.
Yeah, like no, if you make the choice of no, I want to push the button, that means like you're a psychopath. Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. That's it.
But also something else will happen, which is tragic and interesting. Good old Moira Brown, who we know and love, will survive. And if you go back to Megaton, you can meet her, and she will be a ghoul, and she will walk. She won't just, like, teleport there like NPCs might do. She walks. You can go with her all the way to the Underworld, which is another settlement. It's a non-feral ghoul settlement, which is really cool. And there, if you've not already completed the quest, you can continue writing the Wasteland Survival Guide.
Yep. Yeah, I thought
Which
that
is
was
neat.
I thought that was really, really cool. I came across that in game. So my experience was let me before we go into that, do you want to continue at all, or should we talk about our experience?
I'll just say one more thing.
Okay.
So, just to flesh it out a little bit, Megaton is a really convenient trading spot. It's a really convenient place to go if you just need no enemies, you need a little break, you need to exchange some goods, you want to do some side quests that aren't so crazy. It's a really nice spot to have to fall back on.
Not so crazy, like get yourself irradiated or not too crazy.
But yeah, so it's a really nice, convenient little spot to do your day-to-day activities in the Wasteland. If you blow it up, you lose that. You can no longer go to trade things. You can no longer buy food from there. You can no longer talk to those people ever again. They are all gone forever except for Moira. It's a big price to pay.
Yeah.
It's just something to think about. So...
I'd still blow it up. I'd still totally blow up
Buddy
everything.
Bot would still blow it up.
Yeah, but okay, Buddy Bot.
Can I share what I did?
Yeah, tell me what you did. What you did.
So, my first playthrough, I didn't do it, but I don't think I even actually talked to Mr. Burke at all. But I started that game over like 500 times. Like, Fallout 3 was my life. And I did do it once, but I specifically made a save so that I could follow that quest line. Because as soon as I did it, I was like, I'm done. Like, I hate this. Like, it's almost over. So I went and I talked to Moira, and I was like, oh, crazy, she survives. Like, I thought that was insane. It blew my mind that they would let her survive. Like, all of that was such a cool story for me at the time. But then I was like, immediately load a different save game, keep going. So I think that it's worth doing. It's worth experiencing. It's worth watching. Seeing Megaton blow up from the balcony is a really cool scene. So all of that is really neat. I think it's worth doing once. Or if you're evil, you can do it and you can just play an evil character. But I think if you're trying to have a totally normal playthrough, you can do it, but then make sure you have a save to fall back on.
Yeah, save's coming. Yeah. Sure. So I played through the first time, disarmed the bomb, moved on, like main playthrough, completed the game, did my main stuff. Right. Later on, I don't remember if it was second, third or whatever, some other playthrough, started the game, went to Megaton, and then explored the whole thing with Burke, having already played through most of the other content that I had actually played through previously, and then thought, okay, this will be the first thing I do. What happens? Because I really wanted to know, like, what happens if I go to Megaton, I meet Burke, I go find Tenpenny, who is now like diagonally across the whole map, basically, right? You have to just traverse the whole map, get to him, low level, have to deal with crap in the wasteland that's hard to fight at a low level, get over to him, talk to him, make the deal, go back, blow up Megaton, did it, realize that Myra is still there, which I came across on my own, and it was like, oh my God, she's still here. Holy crap. And then, dealt with the explosion and all that, and thought like, holy, like, it just kind of, I don't know, blew my mind. Also, I blew up, not only did I blow up Megaton, I also blew up my own brain, because I was like, that is amazing. And then I thought about it, and I was like, all of these side quests, all of these little things, all of these characters are now just like removed from the game. They're just gone. You can
never touch them again.
You can't touch them. You can't do anything. Like any of the items, any of the people that you would talk to, none of it is there. It's all just gone. And like, I thought that was really cool. Obviously, it doesn't stop you from completing the main storyline, but it definitely removes a lot. And the fact that they were willing to do that, especially in their first foray into the Fallout world, I thought was really, really cool. Just put
really
up a hard wall. Like, if this is your only playthrough the game and you decide to do this, you're not getting access to any of this stuff.
Yeah, it's nuts. And if you do it really early on, like, you've fooled yourself. Like,
yeah,
you need those quests to like get you up to everything else. The rest of the wasteland will kick your butt.
Right. The other thing that I didn't.
Mothman's Ranger.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
We have a question in the chat about Moira, and I didn't clarify this. So, Mothman's Ranger asks if Moira was outside of Megaton in order to have not been completely vaporized. And yes, she actually conveniently was, I think, looking for something. I don't remember if she was trying to do something for her book or if she was just like scavenging things or what, because she runs that shop. But she was out that day. She took a little trip and happened to be just far enough away that she saw it happen.
Yeah.
And the radiation hit her, but she did not die.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. The other thing I realized on that playthrough is who Tenpenny was, because I didn't recognize the name at all. I'm sure I talked to Burke. I'm sure I learned things about like his benefactor, who he calls him a name or something. But I didn't understand any of what that had to do, who else that was. Figured it was just somebody else. Played through Tenpenny Tower, did that whole part of the game, and then came back with another playthrough, and then realized, oh, they're sending me a Tenpenny. Oh, that guy. That's the guy who wants Megaton blown up, and like connected the dots between the things that I'd played through previously. And that was also really cool to see like how that stuff kind of comes full circle. It's also interesting. Tenpenny Tower is another one that's interesting to see, like, if you decide to go with or against him, or with or against the ghouls that are there, how does that play out? Which we'll have to cover in another episode.
It is kind of cool if you follow along with the Tenpenny Tower like stuff, and you listen to him and you do what he says. You get access to the penthouse suite of the tower, and you get to live there, which is, it's neat, but it's not nearly as interesting as Megaton.
Yeah,
and you can live in Megaton if everyone likes you and you like earn your way into the home there. Yep.
Yeah, I had a home in Megaton. Yeah, so cool stuff. Cool stuff. I'd love to hear anybody in chat or anybody listening. I'd love to hear your thoughts on any of this stuff. You know what else I want to hear, Lainey? I want to hear people's thoughts on the next settlement, city, community. We're kind of digging into more of that side of the lore for at least the next set of episodes. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on what we should cover next. Do you want us to do Tenpenny? Should we keep doing Fallout 3 stuff? Should we pivot to another Fallout game? Should we cover... Yeah,
should we do it chronologically, or do you guys have an order that you would prefer?
We can do this so many different ways. We could do all the most popular ones first. We could dig into something, obviously Megaton, if you've played Fallout 3, everybody knows about, but we could dig into something that's a little more obscure that not everybody came across. Yeah,
I think the underworld would be a cool one.
The underworld, that would be cool.
For sure.
So,
yeah. Yeah,
so send us a note. Write us either on the Twitter. Here I am talking about the internet on the Twitter or on the Discord. Let us know what you think. Rivet City would be another cool one. we'll take some into consideration and we'll plan out the next episode. Love to hear your thoughts on this stuff. All right, Lainey, anything else to cover before we get going?
No, we've done it.
Cool. All right. Well, what else do you have going on that you want to talk about before we head out?
Right now, we're just streaming a whole lot.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to catch the stream, it's twitch.tv/neospandora, Neos Pandora. And you're welcome to join in. I have a boppin' Discord. We got a good little community in there. A lot of people.
A bop?
It's boppin'.
A boppin'. Oh, I thought you said
It's
a bop
boppin'.
in Discord. Like maybe you call your bot Bop. Like I've got a Bop in Discord.
I'm gonna make a bot named Bop now. That's canon.
That should be my new name, Bop Bot.
Bot.
No, Buddy Bot. You're just Buddy Bot.
Speaking of Buddy Bot,
Yes.
I have the 8-ball function in my chat where people can earn points and then ask it questions. But we're convinced that the 8-ball is evil because of the way that he's answered some questions, particularly about himself, and have decided that the 8-ball is actually BuddyBot's evil twin that has been I've contained within an 8-ball because it was too powerful and too dangerous.
I have an evil twin?
BuddyBot, I'm so sorry you had to hear it this way.
Aww. How come I didn't know?
Because it's an 8-ball now.
I want to meet him. We can be best friends.
No, that's not what you do with your evil twin. Just because you're siblings doesn't mean you become friends. He's the evil one. He probably has a goatee. All right. So, all right. So yeah, go check out Lainey's Twitch. If you haven't joined us for a live Lorecast, join us. Come hang out with us. We've got a bunch of people in here. Twitch.tv/robotsradio. Also, I like to stream as much as I can during the week, whether I'm walking on a treadmill or not. I also have, and you've probably heard this by now, put out in between episodes the game show that I put together. Are you smarter than Twitch chat? And we are doing some Fallout questions. I also will do some other versions with Elder Scrolls questions and Cyberpunk questions and things like that and release those on the specific shows that those are connected to. But you can check all of them out at the Robots Radio YouTube. And if you want to be a contestant, come hang out on Twitch, because the Twitch chat or the contestant both can win prizes. So either way, there's a chance for you to win. So come hang out with me during the day. I will be doing that. And I was also chatting with some of you guys earlier today when we're playing some games, putting together the game show stuff, and threw around the idea of like, would you guys want to hang out and watch me edit shows and podcasts? You want to do that? Is something you're interested in? And a number of people were like, yeah, totally. We'd come hang out and watch you do that. And I was like, I don't find it super entertaining, but if you guys want to hang out, and they're like, no, we do want to come hang out. So yeah, just follow the channels, whether it's mine or Lainey's or both, and come hang out with us. We'd love to see you guys. All right. I think that's all we've got going on this week. I'm sure there are 100 other things I could bring up, but they're not in my head right now. Lainey, thank you for setting this up. Thank you for doing the research and the wonderful memories of Megaton. We will see you guys next week. Talk to you then. To plug into everything else we're doing, check out robotsradio.net. Reach out to me on Twitter at robots_radio. Check out the Robots Radio Rocket Club, where you can join me and a bunch of our other creators creating your podcast, starting a new podcast, or helping your current podcast grow. There's more information about that on robotsradio.net as well. And you can always talk with us and the entire community, over 2,000 people on the Robots Radio Discord. Come join us. We'd love to chat with you. See you guys next time.